and quite a lot of boulders now have appeared. And the path, of course, it was, is no more.
There's running water in it.
And as the water has found its way down the landslip, we can see, as water always does, it finds a way. And you will remember from the last film, of course, how the water found its way around the back of the landslip into the chapel. And now, Pantegg House sitting on a ledge. And just to the left of the ledge, and to the right of the pipe, almost underneath the house, the water's found another way down, which we'll come up and have a look at in a moment. And as you can see, lots and lots of clearing has been done. Very clear shot now of Pantegg sitting on its ledge. Other precarious trees hanging around, and still an awful lot of debris to be cleared. Well, that's the bank where the path came down, and you can begin to see where the water is starting to come down, and we'll have a better look at that later on. And this is an area which we were assured the water wasn't coming down, and the evidence is, of course, that it is. There's a lot of the forest now that was in the middle of the road has been cut away, but as you can still firmly see, the road is blocked, so the access to the village of Esclavera remains blocked. The local information says that the council had made tentative offers to some of the villagers, ridiculous amounts of money for their properties, which I don't think anybody's going to accept or move out from. All the more reason. There are hidden agendas, of course, to this story, ladies and gentlemen, which are related to the planning permission required for the new mining of this mountain from the other side. It might be worth thinking and remembering that if there's nobody living on this side of the mountain and they're mining from the other, the responsibility of the mountain becomes the mining companies and not the local councils. And is Van still firmly wedged there? And I think you can probably hear the water coming around the landslip. This is the second fall, which is about 300 yards along the mountain, and this is the slip that came down in front of the chapel. And as you can see, there's a ledge there where it came down, and it's fairly steep all the way to the bottom. The container now has been moved, of course, from the side of the mountain and sits on the road waiting for a new home. But still, even though clearing has begun, as you can see, it's still chaos. Still chaos. Look, if you remember in the last video, this chapel meeting hall had all the trees up against the wall, and you can perhaps see where it's been boarded up, where windows have been broken, guttering damaged, etc. Now, as you can see, there's no water actually coming out of that pipe at the moment. However, there is water that is coming from almost underneath the house, draining down the mountain, all the way down, and finding its way very nicely onto the road and into the guttering. And there's where the water is coming out from underneath the mountain, and there is the house, and there we have the pipe with nothing coming out of it. Go back into that again, have a look. There we are. You just watch where Andy's pointing, and there's water flowing there. Yeah. And he's now walking over the area where the water is actually drifting, which is approximately slightly underneath the house. And there you can see where the water is coming out there, underneath the house. And another lot there. Of course, what we're not seeing is any water coming out of that pipe. When Andy spoke to the chappies, they informed him that there was no way that the water was anywhere near the house or coming out from the house. And we've just proved that that's not actually true. And it's not even raining today. But it's not raining today. There's the water coming down the mountain. Let's remind ourselves of the empty pipe, which is supposed to be connected to the one that viewers remember from the top of the mountain, where it is gushing out at the moment. Now we just catch a reminder of how it's coming down the mountain again off the road. And that earth, ladies and gentlemen, is sodden. Now we've walked a little bit along from the bend, and that's about 300 yards from the landslip. And as we come along, this is the left, no entries, so the Godric right. The reason that I stopped here, friends, is to show you yet more badly maintained water pipes. And this is on the other side of the first landslip. So there we've got a pipe which has a little bit of water coming out of it, but what we've also got is several streams running around the pipe. So again, all of this water that's coming down the mountain is softening the earth below, and of course this mountain's been so well mined that who knows what's underneath there, if indeed anything at all.
I'll tell you what, mate, you know I'm pretty fucking...
Path where the water started to seep from the house, underneath the house rather, so if we follow the edge of what's left of the path and remind ourselves of how high we are at the moment, and then probably 100 yards as we walk around from the path up into the garden, and we can hear the sound of the water pipe. Where is it? And there it is. That's the water pipe that you'll remember from the photographs, and that's the one that's allegedly connected to the one at the bottom, where you will remember only a few moments ago no water was seeping out at all. But there you can see it's firmly gushing out, going down and disappearing into the land below. And here's the midsection of the pipe that goes under the ground up to the top about 40 yards to a fractured pipe at the top, and all the water of course seeping under the earth. And there she is again for you, just to demonstrate the volume of water that's coming out of there, and it's actually levelled off over the last few hours allegedly. And the crack that runs behind the cottage that we saw before is now wider than it was, which certainly demonstrates movement in the earth, but also Penny Drag herself has moved on her foundations. And there's the distance from the front door of the cottage to the ledge, which has dropped off down